Hi everyone, Coach Dale here with Auto Fitness. Hope you're doing well and staying healthy. In this video, I'll be covering my 10 top kettlebell exercises. Let's go! Now kettlebells are my favorite single piece of exercise equipment. If I could only have one, I would choose a kettlebell. That would be the only implement I would choose if I could only have one. They're just the most effective, versatile training tool that I've personally ever used. They excel in stressing your body in so many different ways. They're just fantastic. Now, one of the only caveats with kettlebells is that there's a fairly large learning curve. Learning how to tame the arc and the clean takes some time and some practice to master. And when you start to get into the snatch, it really takes, I think, a bit of time to get used to that, just the way the kettlebell moves and taming the arc. But it's totally worth it in my opinion.
Now, if you're wondering what kettlebell weight to use or buy, here are some recommendations. Dragon Door, a leading brand in kettlebells, recommends an 18-pound kettlebell for a woman of average strength or a 26-pound kettlebell for a strong woman. For men, a 35, 44, and 53-pound kettlebell is recommended for a man of average strength, a stronger than average man, and a very strong man, respectively.
Now, when I was younger, I wanted to be a very strong man, and the book I was reading said that a very strong man should start with a 53-pound kettlebell. Now, I probably wasn't a very strong man at the time. It was actually a good choice because it allowed me to grow into the weight, and now out of the 3 kettlebells that I use, the 53-pound kettlebell is the one that I use the most. On that note, let's get into the exercises.
Alright, so I'm ranking these exercises by difficulty and complexity, starting with the least difficult and complex. Number 10 is the bent over row. If you've seen some of my other videos, you will have seen me rowing a lot. Pulling or rowing is one of the most important upper body exercises because it helps to keep your shoulders back and your posture upright and tall, fighting the constant struggle against gravity. Number 9 is the kettlebell front squat. The front squat is another great exercise for posture because it trains your body to stay upright and resist spinal flexion. Using a single kettlebell is great because it incorporates a lot of upper body and abdominal strength to stay balanced and centered during the squatting movement. Number 8 is the kettlebell lunge and press. This exercise is one of the few contralateral exercises, meaning it trains opposite sides of the body at the same time. This takes a lot of abdominal core strength and also demands more coordination than usual. All of this in addition to training a single leg movement and overhead press. Number 7 is the kettlebell swing. This is probably the most foundational kettlebell exercise out there. It teaches powerful, coordinated hip extension, demands a tremendous amount of core and back strength, and builds a strong grip. You can do two-handed and one-handed swings. Just make sure you keep your back flat and your core tight. Bend at the hips, squeeze your glutes, and have soft, slightly bent knees. Next, at number 6, is the windmill. This is a slower, more purposeful whole body exercise that incorporates a hip hinge and core rotation. In addition, it trains shoulder girdle stability while moving through an awkward range of motion. Make sure your forward leg is slightly bent and your back leg is locked straight. Hold the kettlebell in the lower hand for an easier exercise and the higher hand for more of a challenge. At number 5 is the Turkish Get-up. This is a fairly complex whole body movement and takes some practice to get used to. Definitely take your time with this exercise. Practice without a weight first to get the movement down, then progressively add heavier weight. It takes about 30 seconds to complete one full rep and can be used to great effect as a whole body conditioning exercise with moderate weight and high reps, or it can be used as a strength-based exercise if done with a heavy weight. I personally recommend breaking this movement down into parts where you practice sitting up, then laying back down, then progress to sitting up, adding the hip bridge, then going back down. Finally, progressing to the sit-up, bridge, and transitioning to the lunge position. From there, you simply stand up and repeat everything in reverse. Number 4 is the kettlebell clean and press. Next to the swing, I consider the kettlebell clean as the next most important foundational kettlebell exercise. Cleaning the kettlebell to the rack position sets up numerous other movements, so mastery of the clean is crucial. For this movement, however, once you successfully clean the kettlebell, you simply press it overhead, focusing on keeping your abs tight and pushing through your feet into the ground. At number 3 is the kettlebell high pull. This is a powerful movement that is actually a precursor to the snatch. Start by initiating a snatch-like swing, but instead of bringing the kettlebell all the way overhead, pull the weight just above your shoulder, keeping your elbow high and core tight. From there, squeeze your abs and punch forward, keeping a tight grip, pushing the kettlebell forward and down into another repetition. Number 2 is the kettlebell hand-to-hand clean. This is a high-skill exercise that requires you to release the kettlebell, flipping it and catching the bell in your hand, then pushing the weight forward and catching the handle for another rep. I mainly use this exercise as a fun way to add variety when I feel like playing around, and I only do this on a surface where I can drop the kettlebell due to the high risk of losing the weight during the movement. And number 1 belongs to the infamous kettlebell snatch. This exercise is the king of forging a vice-like grip, building high work capacity and outstanding resilience. The U.S. Secret Service kettlebell snatch test is one of the ultimate feats of kettlebell mastery and requires you to complete 200 snatches in 10 minutes with a 53-pound kettlebell, allowing you to switch hands as many times as you want. In my opinion, this is the ultimate kettlebell exercise, and everyone should include this into their workout at some point.
All right, so those are my top 10 favorite kettlebell exercises. Now here's some workout tips for you. Pick 2, 3, maybe 4 at the most kettlebell exercises and work on them. Practice them back to back and just get to where you're mastering those movements if they're particularly challenging movements. And then another thing you can do is pick a rep range that's about 50 to 75% of what you think your maximum repetition range is. So if you think you can only do about 10 reps, pick maybe 5, 6, or 7 reps at the most and use that, and don't tire yourself out. Practice on technique, and in no time you'll be a kettlebell master. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. But remember, don't subscribe to hopelessness. Keep working hard, stay healthy, and take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Thanks for watching, and kia kaha.